and Agri from Ghana. So we welcome you.
Okay, my brother Musa, I think you are facing a little bit of technical challenge. So let me pick it up from there and then we will continue. All right, okay. All right, my brother, I think you are facing a little bit of technical challenges. So let me pick it up from there and then when you are back, we move from there. Once again, thank you everyone for today. It's been a pleasure to host all of you. We are very happy and for this special occasion. Now, a little bit about why we are here today. It is to celebrate the World Youth Skills Day. And by celebrating, it is for one singular reason, to celebrate the strategic importance of equipping young people with skills for employment, decent work, and entrepreneurship. And this is what has given birth to the 2020 theme. That is what? Skills for a resilient youth in the era of COVID-19 and beyond. Now, every year on 15th July, the global community celebrates World Youth Skills Day. It is a day, an opportunity for young people, technical and vocational education and training institutions, public as well as the private sector stakeholders, acknowledge and celebrate the importance of equipping young people with skills for employment. Now, World Youth Skills Day this year is taking place during this global pandemic. Now, the COVID-19 pandemic and lockdown measures has led to the worldwide closure of many educational institutions as well as training institutions, threatening the continuity of skills development. And it is on this premise that we have also put together a high-profile speakers with enviable portfolio to share thoughts on what it means for the World Youth Skills Day, as well as some of the areas they will be taking specifically. So on this note, I would like to introduce all the speakers to you so that we know who we are and what they stand for. Now, our first speaker is Alao Oluwanishola. He is the founder of SADA. He will be speaking on emotional intelligence. He's an what? An extensionist, educationist. He's a dynamist and a creative thinker. He's here today because he's also an educational consultant. And again, a vibrant entrepreneur with an active global citizen, full of track records in leadership, impact living, research, human resource, and many more. He's a graduate of the Ilorin Nigeria and Kwara State College of Education. He has contributed and participated in reaching out to over 10,000 young globally with his experience in leadership, health, and practical life skills. His mission is to eradicate suicide, create a society free of violence, and helping youth develop through strategic and skill maintenance, hence ensuring peace. So he will be one of our speakers for today. Our other speaker I also have is Lamin Jassy. He is a former regional finance minister, manager, MCN HLP. He's a finance and investment specialist, project and talent manager. He's an expert in forex trading, leadership and management orientation. He is also 2018 Fellow of the African Young Leadership Fellowship Program, where he gained his executive mini MBA. He has over 5 years working experience, serving his community, especially the youth. His mission is to help the youth in his community to make a difference in society by helping them to be more conscious and influential through leadership, finance, and other societal positive impact. So thank you, Lamin, for gracing us the occasion and also to speak on finance management and leadership. Our other speaker we also have on the bill is Madam Elizabeth Agatha Musa Conte. She is the founder and executive director for her initiative. It's an initiative with the girl child tone. She has a master's in development management and BSc in financial services from IPAM University of Sierra Leone. Madam Elizabeth is a gender advocate who is passionate about women, girls' rights, equality, justice, and believes empowerment of women and girls for positive change. Our next on the bill is who will be speaking on team building is Tembeck Julius. He is the Director for Social Integration and Welfare, ACP DYSS. He is the President also of the Youth Resource Consultancy and Governance International and the main representative to the United Nations Economic and Social Council, Geneva, for modern advocacy, humanitarian, social, and rehabilitation association. So this goes to prove to you that we selected people who have been in the field, who know their role, who know their space, so that they can impact meaningfully to you in knowledge and in skills. Julius is also an experienced volunteer consultant to many grassroots organizations, including community-based organizations as well. He has worked as a project developer and delegate of the Cameroon Youth Council. Thank you, Sir Julius, for gracing us today and speaking on the theme team building. Also, speaking on customer relationship management, we have Madam Asana Shani Mahama. She is the estate and the logistics officer with over 4 years experience in administrative and customer service. She's also currently the administration department of National Petroleum Authority and the executive assistant to the CEO of Eclipse Broadcasting Network. Madam Mahama is a Yali ILC Fellow and currently the alumni president, possessing a great sense of service, also the deputy director of Youth Initiative for African Development. Why am I taking time to sing all these portfolios of these wonderful speakers? Just for one singular reason, so that it will inspire in you also that this journey of life, you need to keep abreast with time, you need to acquire skills and build a wealthy portfolio where you can also make positive impact. So let's listen as we celebrate these young and wonderful speakers. Madam Hamahama, together with her team, have been organizing periodic outreaches to orphanages, disability centers, and also seminars and conferences for young people, a self-motivated, resource-oriented, and people's person. Thank you, Madam Mahama, for joining us today to share on customer relationship and management. Now, to the man of the moment, the great man himself, His Excellency, Prof. Prince Blessing Lawal. He is the founder and CEO of the Global Socio-Economic and Financial Evolution Network, GSFEN. It's a worldwide humanitarian network, an international institute of Chartered Humanitarians, IICH. He has over 200 academic and professional certifications. Wow. From University of London, Stanford, MIT, Harvard, just name it. He holds numerous degrees that if we should start, I think we may have a 24-hour webinar session. He has an impressive CV and portfolio. He brings on board 13 years of postgraduate experience in management, executive positions at different organizations, particularly in the financial industry and humanitarian works. His wealth of experience and passion for humanity have helped him to put him in a global perspective of what? Seeing the leap of GSFN to the global level, which today is seen as the best global humanitarian networks. It is an honor to have you, Professor Prince Blessing Lawal, the founder and global president of GSFEN, as our keynote speaker. Now to our host, a man I call my brother. He is the vice president of the African continent, GSFEN. He also is a policy enthusiast, a trainer, a business strategist. He's a content creator, and he is the lead consultant for Be More Global Consulting and co-founder, the executive director of More Global Foundation, who advocates for the implementation of the African Agenda 2063 by the African Union and the Agenda 2030 of the United Nations. He has gained over 10 years of experience, built a leadership capacity with the National House of Assembly, Abuja. He is also into banking, manufacturing, logistics. Musa has contributed in over 5,000 reach of youth globally in terms of project coordination, branding, leadership skills, and many more. He's had featuring on the BBC Media Action. He's been the best youth ambassador, the award in London, and many more. His mission is to connect and help businesses thrive. So now you see why we've put all these wonderful people together here for you, the youth, so that today's World Youth Skills Day will be meaningful. Thank you so much for the host and also our guest speaker and all the speakers present here. So Musa, if you are ready, can I hear you? Okay, since Musa is not. Hello, brother. Musa, are you there? All right. On that score, I think we will surely move straight to our keynote speaker, Professor.
Hello, can you
Yes,
hear me?
yes, we can hear you.
So sorry, the network here is something else.
Don't worry, I got your back.
Okay, okay. So welcome you all, welcome you all. We are sorry that the keynote speaker will not be available to share his own thought with us due to the fact that there is network issue as well. Even me right now, I'm trying to look for a best location to have a good network to speak with you guys. So, but the keynote speaker has a message which I would like to share with us, or if the network will permit me. So kindly wait, let me try and share.
Okay, but
Or
Musa,
John, do you have it? Do you have it with you?
before you go on, I think Prof is among us. So let's ask him first
Really?
if he's willing.
Oh, I,
Hello, Prof. Can you please hear us? How is your network?
oh, definitely. Is the okay?
Hello, Prof. Hello, Prof. How is your network connection? Is it possible to give a live feed or we do your recording? All right, people. I think Musa.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I think we are not able to reach Prof. So can you please let's hear his video?
Okay, let me do that right away.
Thank you. All right, people. Due to technical challenges, the guest speaker will not be able to deliver live. Irrespective of that, technology also gives us the space to operate otherwise. So he has done a recording for his speech. So we will hear from him via the video that the host will be sharing. So Musa, we await your feed.
Okay, let me do it. I think you'll be the one to do that, John. I can't do it, maybe because I'm on mobile.
Okay, Musa, just okay.
Are you there?
Send it to me and let's introduce our next speaker so as not to waste time whilst we operate technically behind the scene. So on this call, we shall introduce our next speaker for the day in the person of Sir Julius, if you are here. Julius yes, Julius, you're here with us. All right. Okay, yes, I've unmuted you.
Okay. Greetings, everyone. I'm Tumbek Julius. Thank you, Mr. John. Thank you, everyone. It's an opportunity for me to be here with you all and to celebrate this day with everyone. So what I'll do, I'll go straight without wasting time. I'll just like to, I have some slides on team building that I think I would like to share with you. And afterwards, there will be a Q&A session in case of anything like the speakers, they already said, and already came to a consensus about it, you can then ask your questions. Okay. Thank you once more, Mr. John. Let me try to share. So, okay, please just hold on. It's loading. I don't know. I'm in Cameroon now, so the network, it's really something. So I'm just trying to cope with it. Okay. Mr. John, I'll get the reaction from you. I don't know if you can see my screen very well. Just nod your head if you can see it. It's okay? Just nod. Oh,
It is loading.
okay.
So I think we'll give it some few minutes. We'll be patient as these things are beyond our reach. So
That's why we're here. We need to be a better Africa for us.
all right, people, as we wait for Sir Julius's screen so that we can delve into his knowledge powerhouse, I will set up some few housekeeping rules. Each speaker will have roughly 15 minutes to do their presentation, after which there will be some quick 5 minutes for Q&As to the speaker. And then we also have an interactive section where the participants also get to ask their questions or make their contribution. Each participant is entitled to maximum 2 minutes. If it's a question, we trust that you go straight to point. If it's a contribution, we trust that you also keep it precise, concise, straight, and if possible, use the word KISS, K-I-S-S. Keep it simply short. That way, we can get everyone to get involved. Thank you so much.
Is it okay now? Is it okay now?
Julius, no, it's not showing.
Okay, then I think I can just go on like this. I think, I don't know
Or
if it's
you can just start talking whilst we wait for it to show on the screen. So you can start.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think it would be preferable. Yeah. Okay. Once more, I will be talking about team building. So there are several types of teams, but the choice and the types of a team, it depends on some certain factors or variables, like the tasks to be performed, the organizational context, and the resources available. So if we have to produce a team, we have to take into consideration these three aspects. Yeah. Again, now I will now go to some definitions, like what is a team? First of all, what is a team? A team, we can define a team as two or more people working interdependently towards a common goal. That is, getting a group of people together does not make it a team. You and I, Mr. John and I, we cannot be together and we call ourselves a team. No, we must be working towards a common goal and to produce a product or a service that we have to deliver. Then team building, we can, are you people getting me? Are you getting me, Mr. John? Just nod your head.
Yeah.
Okay. Then team building. The team building, we can look at it as the process of gathering the right people and getting them to work together for the benefit of a project or a common goal. That is the process of gathering the right people and getting them to work together for the benefit of a project or a common goal. We can call that one now team building. Then we also have this aspect of what we call team management. We can say is the ability to perform a number of activities that ensures a group of people carry out their work as planned. So we should always put this at the back of our mind when we are talking about team building, that we have what is a team, we have team building and team management. Then I will go now to the next topic, how to select the right team for a project. Great care, I will tell you, great care should be taken when selecting team members because this is key in achieving the set goals and objectives for putting a team together. Thus, it is important to take the following points into consideration while trying to put a team together, while trying to select the right team. So, 4 points that I think we should always take into consideration while selecting the right teams would include: we have team size, we have overall team composition, we have team members selection and exclusion criteria, and we have member recruitment process. But then I would like first of all to start with the first one, the first one, team size. Okay, I'll often say it is recommended that the size of a team, to select the right team, the size of the team most often, it can be from 3 to 12 members, but a team of 5 to 7 is often the best. A team from 5 to 7 is the best. Those small teams of 3 to 4, they tend to make people to work faster and achieve goals within a very short period of time. But that notwithstanding, if you have a team greater than 8 or 7, than 7 or 8 members, then it requires an expert facilitator to be in that team. And you can also further create sub-teams that you effectively manage and operate your different things. Again, the next one, overall team composition. We should know that this one needs to, therefore the team needs to have a representation of the stakeholders involved in the project or whatever activities it is. So we should have a mixed team with people who also are from the stakeholders' point of view so that they are going to guarantee their interest too. So a good team should have people with wide range and diverse experience and skills. Not forgetting having a mix of members from different organization units or different organizations. So it will still be good. And then I will go next to team member selection and exclusion criteria. I will say the best and brightest teams are needed in the team, but they must work together for the project to succeed. Even if we have the best people in the team, if they don't work together, they will not succeed. So they need to work together, work well together for the project to succeed. And in the selection process, preference should be given to individuals who are concerned and committed to the common purpose and goals. Also, people who are enthusiastic, optimistic, creative, flexible, open-minded, proactive, and who are good team players will often make the team to work effectively and also respect rules, values, and opinions of others, thus achieving the goals within the right time. Then we have members recruitment. We should always keep in mind that project goals and selection criteria mentioned above, they identify relevant people. We have to identify relevant people in the organization or in the unit. We have to make formal contact with those who have been identified, as well as with anyone who knows them, to see if the criteria is possible to fulfill the goal. And then we can include the interest of the project and time needed to integrate the projects. So these things should all be taken into consideration while selecting the right team. Okay, we go to the next subtopic under it. We have the usual phases of a team development. Normally, you don't just get up like that and you said we need to produce a team because we have this common goal. Even if we have a common goal, we need there are some phases we have to follow to produce the right team. Remember, it's not just a team, but we have to produce a team that will help us attain our goals and objectives. So it could be progress from an early to a matured phase. It could be independent of the nature of the team or the task it must perform. We have this one, what we call the Tuchman's model, that proposes the following a typical phase in team development. So Tuchman's model starts with, it gives us 5 phases in team development. We have first the forming phase, second the storming phase, third the norming phase, fourth the performing phase, and fifth we have the dissolving or the reorientating phase. So I will start first with the forming. Phase. The forming phase is the initial orientation period where you have to orientate the people. The team is unsure because by then the team is unsure of the people that they have at hand. So now what members are supposed to do is, members here, they need to know each other very well, and because they are not yet familiar with one another. So the team leader and the action members and the other function members, they have to get acquainted. They need to know each other here very well. And this stage is complete. And this stage is complete when the members begin to see themselves as part of a group. Then we can say the first phase of a team's development has been achieved. Then we go secondly to the storming phase. This is like the sorting out period where members begin to find their place as team members. Now already they know they are already a team. Now you are finding yourself as a team member within the group. And the team members now feel more comfortable giving their opinions and challenges very well. So this is the stage. And now still with this stage, the team leader's authority and recommendations count. Some members may become dissatisfied and challenge not only with the tasks of the team and how this will be carried out, but also the leader's rules and styles. So these are some of the challenges that will come up from this storming phase. Now we go to the norming phase. The norming phase, the team begins to use their past experience to solve problems and also to pull together as a cohesive group. Now in this norming phase. Now the process, this process here, it can result in team establishing procedures for handling conflicts, decisions, and methods to accomplish the team's projects. Now we go to the fourth phase, the performing phase. In this phase, the team has achieved harmony already. They have achieved harmony, and they've defined the tasks now that they will be working with and the relationship, and now they have started producing results in this performing phase. Leadership is provided by the team members and is best suited for the different tasks at hand. And again, they have learned how to work together, manage conflicts, and contribute now their resources to meet the team's purposes. Now the fifth phase, the dissolving or reorienting phase. The team dissolves when it has completed the task or the project. It may be reorientated to continue on a next phase. That is why we have it, the dissolving or the reorienting phase, because they may have a project that they need to continue. So now, if they have to continue, they have to reorientate them. Okay, next subtopic under team building, to make this team building a team, to be a good team, is how to begin building a team. How to begin? Remember, we were talking about the phases in developing a team. But now we are talking now how to begin team building. There are three main components in any team's work. We have the goal, we have the methodology, we have the resources. So how to begin building a team? The goal, these are result-oriented tasks or content aspects, e.g. of a team goals. It can be goals and objectives. These are usually developed through interaction with team members. So next, the methodology, the process aspect, which includes the team's interaction and how members work together, like the leadership, the team rules, and others. The team, especially technical teams, frequently struggle more with process issues than with task issues. So then the resources, the time, the budget, the computer, the facilities, the educational tools, administrative support, all these are the different steps that you use when you begin building a team. Not the phases, but how to begin building a team. The phases, they are the different steps. But now, how you begin building a team. It's just like the background brainstorming before you actually trying to start doing what you're doing. Now, some useful questions. When you want to be a team, there are some questions you need to always ask yourself, or you people always need to brainstorm on. Who are the team members, or the team leaders, or the liaison members, the team liaison members? What are the reasons for the existence of the team? What is the common vision? And what are the goals and targets? What are the norms that will guide the team that will work together? Because they cannot just work like that. What results are expected for the team? What are the outputs expected for the team? By when? To whom should they be given? What is their agreed strategy? Which steps are to be followed? So we have a lot of questions. These are just some of the questions that you can ask yourself while you are building your team. What are the norms and the methodologies about? So here, even in team building, when asking yourself these questions, you should ask yourself questions about the norms and methodologies, what they are about, because they have to fall under the norms and methodologies that you have to answer from the questions. They will have to do with decision-making, problem-solving process, conflict resolutions, communication, cooperation, and responsibilities. Others can include task management, meetings, rewards. So you have to, these questions need to be answered. Then we talk about next subtopic in team building. You have to talk about responsibilities of team leaders, because you need to assign clear tasks to each members, because the team leader needs to assign clear tasks to members. So you have to define this, the responsibility of the team leaders. The team leader also needs to regularly review and monitor process of work. The team leader needs to ensure that the team meets deadline, to discuss and agree on timetable for major activities with the team, motivate team members, and resolve conflict, give guidance when needed, helps members to overcome barriers, regularly assessing team performance using a checklist. These are some of the things. All the things I'm highlighting, they are just some. The list, they are not exhaustive. So because people can always have different things that they can add to this. But then these are just some of it. Then we talk about norms of a team. We cannot have a team without norms, because norms are acceptable standards of behaviors within a group that are shared by group members. We cannot work as a team without sharing some norms. So these norms that will tell members the do's and don'ts, depending on the circumstances. In the work environment, the most important norms deal with performance-related process. The most important norms in a work-related environment, they deal with performance-related process. All members should be familiar with the norms and they should be expected. They are expected to follow these various norms. So some examples of norms can be like team leadership. The team leaders or mediator or facilitator or liaison has control over the process. Example, controls when and how much people work. So if we are working in a team, we need to know that the norm is that when the team leader says this or talks or give us a task, we need to follow, we need to work, because we are all working for a common goal, and he is the one who is at the forefront trying to ensure that we achieve our goal or objective. This is just an example. There are lots more. So another one could be, we can accept that one of the norms should be one person should speak at a time. That can be another one. Then we would now talk about team charter, what we call a team charter. This is a very useful document for team building. A team charter is a written document that defines the team's mission, objectives, scope of operation, time frame, and consequences. Please permit me to take it again. A team charter is a written document that defines the team's mission, objectives, the scope of operation, the time frame, and consequences. The purpose statement. Here, you have the purpose statement explaining why the team is being formed. The purpose statement.
I think you have roughly less than 5 minutes to wrap up so that we can, please.
No problem. I'll round up before then. Thank you. Then the purpose statement should align and should align with the team's mission, and should also support the organization's vision and mission statement. Then the objective here under the team charter, it is expected to achieve the stated measurable terms of the project, what they intend to achieve. Okay. Then the scope of the team charter is to be defined organizationally and using the operational boundaries within which the team is expected to work and operate. So we'll go next to how to sustain a team effectively. Team effectiveness, it means the degree to which the team achieves the expected result of the teamwork in the available time period. So aspects relevant to maintain short and long-term team effectiveness here, they could include things that will clearly and commonly state how the vision and goals are being developed through a group process with team interaction. So we have issues here, how team effectiveness can go. We have things like role clarity, particularly at the beginning. We have leadership. When the leadership is distributed and shared amongst team members and individuals willing to contribute their resources as needed, team norms are defined, then we will easily have effectiveness. Then we'll go now to why team fails. Some team fails from the beginning and some deteriorate over time. Some examples of why team fails, we have what we call the external barriers of teamwork and internal barriers of teamwork. So why team fails, we have external barriers. External barriers why team fails could include things like inadequate recognition of individual team members. Team leaders do not control or release the team members adequately. Teams are not given adequate resources, and team charter is not well written. While internal barriers why team fails can include things like inadequate support from external stakeholders. We have team members don't resolve interpersonal conflicts. Team members don't conduct efficient meetings. Members don't know how to influence the work of others. So with this, we can also think of things like what we call group rethink, groupthink. Groupthink, some teams are at risk of becoming dysfunctional. So we can also think of things like group things. So I want to thank you very much, and I just had to give just a brief summary of it, and anything we can take it from the Q&A session. Thank you, Mr. John.
Thank you
Thank you,
very
everyone.
much for taking my time. Thank you very much for your insightful presentation. For now, I think what we will do is have quick 3 questions, move to the next speaker, and then we will have a bigger session where everyone can ask the panelists questions. But before, again, let me put this thing across again. All speakers have 15 minutes within which to deliver. We are here to share knowledge, not to take too much time, so that we can all respect each other's time. So the floor is open to participants. If you have questions, please share your thoughts and let us learn. The floor is open. Any question for Sir Julius? But Sir Julius, as we wait for the participants to ask you a question, there's one question here. You made mention of when you are building a team, look for the best and brightest. But even with that, if they do not work together, they will not be called a team. And also, you need to look for people who are committed to the common goal. I have had an experience where people came in without a common goal, but how they were groomed made them have a change of mindset. So can that also be an attributing factor to look for, or we should stick to looking for people with a committed goal, common goal?
Okay. Okay, are you there with me?
Yes, we are here.
Thank you for the question. You know, normally in the course of team building, not like all what we said here pertains to how it can work out there. Actually, there are people who come with less goals, or they are not really committed, but in the long run they get committed. That is why if you look at the Tuchman's model, you will see that it goes in phases. You see that even at the first phases, the forming phase, you can look at someone. You have there's intuition. There is this issue of, you can look at someone, you feel the potentials of the person, even though the person may not see the potential he has or cannot feel the goal. But in the long run, while you use the various phases, they're coming together, storming, numbing, and you discover that in the long run it can work. So it's I believe it also can go the same way, like what happened with you and you succeeded.
Thank you very much for that insightful answer. It is true that sometimes you need to also look at the future prospect of the candidate than what they are presenting. Thank you so much, Sir Julius, for that powerful delivered lecture for us. So please, Sir Julius is here. Feel free to ask him a question. Please. Can we have some quick 2 questions, and then we move on to the next speaker? Okay, I think we will allow our next speaker, who needs to also head over for a meeting. So we may have to apologize to Madam Mahama to move on to the next speaker. That is allow Oluwa Nishola, because he needs to quickly rush to a meeting and he has a low battery. So Sir Allow, if you are here, kindly avail yourself so that we will have you before you run out of juice. Thank you, sir. Okay, let me unmute you.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Good day to everyone over there.
Good day to you and welcome.
Thank you very much. Happy World Youth Skill Day. My name is Alaolo Anishola Toib. I'm speaking from Nigeria and I'll be speaking on emotional intelligence. Due regards to all participants, the observers, the coordinator, the host, and all skillful youths across the world, I welcome you and I hope we all enjoy this moment as we ride on. I'll be speaking about emotional intelligence. And I believe is one of the key skills we need as youths nowadays in scaling through any professions, any organizations we might actually belong to. There is no how we want to actually talk about emotional intelligence without talking about the man behind the name emotional intelligence, who happens to be John Mayer or Goldman in the year 1996. It has been actually for a very long time. What do we actually understand by the terms emotional intelligence? There are two basic concepts that comes from board when we are talking about emotional intelligence. The first thing is the emotions, and the second thing is the intelligence aspect of which has to do with the cognitive domain of individual. Emotions are said to be a biological state associated with the nervous system of the body, which has to do with the way we think, the way we feel, the way we interact, our communication aspects, the way we attend to other people when they do things for us. That is just all about emotion. Your anger, your receptive skills, the way you perceive things has to do all around with what we call the emotions. Then when we are talking about the intelligence are actually divided into so many. That's why we'll be talking about the IQ, the intelligence quotient, which is a logic and understanding, the self-awareness, the learning, the emotional knowledge, the reasoning, the planning and creativity, the creative thinking, and the problem solving. Now, what is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is the ability to understand and manage your own emotions. It is not just your own emotions alone, but managing other people's emotion and the way they react to you. Let's take, for instance, you're in a group of a meeting or probably in an organization setting where your boss is actually coming from home and probably is having a what we call an home front, maybe from his wife or probably his children. There is something we call transfers of aggression. When he gets to the home, when he gets to work, the only thing he could actually do was taking what he was bringing from home to the office. And before you could actually know it, he was transferring aggressions from one workers to another, which actually has an effect on the way the productivity we have to flow. So emotional intelligence is the way we feel towards our particular emotions and the way we actually consider and respect other people's emotions when it comes to our situations. Let's take, for example, Mr. John Agre. I actually messaged him and I told him about the situation I was actually into. There is an hierarchy in the positioning of the speakers, but due to his ability to cope with his emotions, he was able to diffuse my message and he actually do what we call, he make justice to the needful. There are components of emotional intelligence. When we are talking about the components, we have strictly five skills, which are the components of the emotional intelligence. The first thing we have to know is you have to be self-aware. Self-awareness. What is self-awareness? The term self simply means individual. You particularly as a human being, as a youth, as an organizational head, as a director, whosoever you might be. What is your self-awareness? Are you actually aware about yourself? So if you are self-aware, you always know how you feel, how you know your emotions and your actions can affect the people around you. Being self-aware when you are in a leadership position also means a very clear picture of strength and weakness, and it means behaving with humility. That humility alone can carry and is enough for someone to escape through life if someone is very aware. But if you're having an issue with your self-awareness, or you are yet to aware to identify who you are, what are those things you need to do? One, you keep a journal of yourself. Journal helps you improve your self-awareness if you spend few minutes. If you spend few minutes each day writing down your thoughts, this can help you in your high level of degree of self-awareness. Okay, fine. Today is 15th of July, 2020. What am I going to do? How am I going to do it? You need to equip yourself with the needful thing you need to do. Then you slow down. When you experience anger, or you're having a frustration or a difficult period, emotional intelligence, as an emotional intelligence person, you need to slow yourself down, rethink, recapitulate, and react. And as an emotional intelligence, you need to do more of listening than speaking. When you listen to how people talk, how people do their things, you won't be angry the way they do it, because you already understand the background of what emotional intelligence is all about. How can you identify yourself? There is something we call self-regulations. Any ambassador leaders that are listening to me need something we call body regulation. The body regulations is an effective very verbal attack, which people rush on their emotional decisions. Stereotype, it can has to do with the people, the compromise of level. It's about staying in control, knowing what to do and how to do it, has to do with your emotional intelligence. How can you improve your motivation? You need to re-examine yourself and know the next thing to do when you have a planning. As an emotional, as a learner, I'm probably someone that has undertaken or undergo what you call emotional intelligence. You need what you call motivation. Motivation is all about setting a particular goals with high extreme standard and with high good quality of works, and having a total zeal of achieving that particular goal, irrespective of all circumstances that might warrant or arise behind it. How can you improve your self-regulation? You need to know your value as individual. You know your worth. There was a program I attended, and in that program, I raised it as a question, how much are you? A lady stand up and tell me she's 1 billion naira. I laughed. I was like, is that your value? 1 billion naira. So you need to actually identify that, yet nothing in these words really worth your life. So your emotional intelligence will actually help you to rethink and let you understand that, yes, you are priceless. You are priceless. On any circumstances, we have something we call empathy. For leaders, empathy is different from sympathy. What we need most times and how we make use of it really matters. In some situations, some people misuse empathy for sympathy, and they took sympathy for empathy. There is a distinct differences between those two words. There are distinct between those two words. When we are talking about empathy, you are putting yourself in a particular position of another person. You are putting yourself in a position of another person. That's empathy. But when you are talking about sympathy, you're actually feeling, how is Mr. John doing this afternoon? Ambassador Musa said his network is bad. Sorry, Mr. Musa, your network is bad. But when you are putting empathy into cognizance, empathy will make you feel you are Mr. Musa, you are Mr. John, and this is how you are feeling, which has to do with our working environment. As a boss, as a leader, as a director in an organization, or in a productive company, in a production company, sorry, you need to understand the way your followers, your workers are actually feeling when they are working. You need to identify them. You need to be self-aware and be well-equipped with the rightful decision you have to make about your about your justification on how to judge them. How can you improve your empathy? Pay attention to your body, fellow ambassadors. When you pay attention to your body has a way of communicating to you. It has a way of reacting to his environment. It has a way of probably telling you this is not what I want. Some people don't take too much of pepperish things. Some people don't like taking too much of sugary things. You need to know yourself, what your body really wants, and how you want it really matters as well. So pay attention to your body, respond to feelings, and build more of your social skills. A lot of people actually fall short when it comes to social skills. And out of the social skills, we have something we call communication skills. We have something we call leadership skills. All these social skills are what we need. These are what Mr. John is using in communicating to us. These are what Mr. Ambassador Musa is using in communicating to us. The environment we find ourselves, this platform of Zoom, is because of the social skills we are equipped with. We're able to flow, acclimatize ourselves, and we're able to adjust to the rightful things we need to do. We have 4 types of emotional intelligence. We have 4. We have the self-awareness, which I make mention earlier. We have the self-management. We have social awareness, and we have relationship management. Our cognitive intelligence refers to such ability when you are understanding information, solving problems, and making decisions which are right and useful for yourself and the society at large. These abilities of emotional intelligence include the understanding and the feelings of others and responding to it in an appropriate way and manners. Your emotional awareness has to do with the ability and to know yourself and understand your feelings. Some people don't actually know how they felt. They don't really know. Especially when it comes to relationships or probably, let me say, courtship. They will have feelings for someone, but they might not be able to communicate their feelings. It's because they are not yet aware about themselves. When you are yet aware about yourself, you'll be able to make some decisions which will actually cost you a little thing or a damn. You need to regulate how you think. Then building of self-confidence is part of emotional intelligence. When you build emotions, when you are building confidence, you should have faith in yourself and being willing to put yourself forward. There are some situations you are going to find yourself and they will ask you who can do this thing, who can perform this role. As a youth, you don't need to push yourself back when you know you can do it. Challenges are part of life and there are things you need to work on. So your emotional intelligence test score will actually make you to do the unbelief things you think you cannot do. Yes. When we are talking about relationship management, which is part of the types of the emotional intelligence, we have inspirational leadership, like being a good mentor, a role model, an authority figure. Ambassador Ekimat, we can testify to this as having an influence and articulating points in persuasive and clear ways of communication are actually an effective way of motivating others. We have something we call conflict management. Conflict management is not the one we always add when we are in classrooms, but it has to do with improving our relationship and how to negotiate. Despite the fact we are in a frustrating period, how we can actually negotiate among ourselves and make things amicable without a fist. Change of catalyst. When we are talking about change of catalyst, it's recognizing the supporting and the need of change and making things actually happen. We have 4 emotional theories, which talks about, thank you, Mrs. Latifat, who talks about emotional intelligence theory. The theories are, we have the self-management, we have the social skills, we have the self-management as well. When we are talking about the self-awareness, as I said earlier, is this a good emotion or should I feel differently? If you understand your emotion, you can actually identify their impact and you know what the team really actually wants. I'll be rounding off by saying, how can individual improve on their emotional intelligence? How? This is a question that keeps on boiling day in, day out. How can we actually improve on emotional intelligence? A lot of workers, a lot of people are lose their job because they lack these skills of emotions. A daily journal helps improve your self-awareness. Writing down your thoughts, the way you felt, your feelings can move you to a higher degree of self-awareness. Understand what you want. Communicate what you need. What you did well and what you don't did well, where you need to improve. What are the shortcomings you identify about yourself that you're not doing well? What could be your improve on it? Reflect on everyday activities. It will help you in actually keeping a check and balance on the way you do your things, and it will go a long way in assisting you in your emotional intelligence. Do more of listening, than speaking. Some people just talk without listening. They ask questions without having a grassroots understanding or a background meaning to that particular question being asked. They just raise up their hand. It's common when we're in secondary schools. We just want to show up. Not having the depth knowledge about the information the teacher is asking us, we raise up our hands. We just want to show. But you need to be calm. Running 100 miles an hour can be a blow. Slow down at times. You don't need to keep running for a long days. You need to control the way you breathe, your thinking faculty, the way you remodel it, how you get angry. What are those things you get angry on? How do you react to people who do this to you? This has to boil down to what you call your emotion. An emotion is a state of mind. How can you convert anger into a positive emotion? This is what I do most time when I get angry. I laughed. I'm actually pissed off, but I laughed. I laughed because I really don't want to venge my anger at that particular point in time because I have to be control over it. My emotions can't control me. You have to control your emotions. When your emotions are controlling you, then you are not yourself any longer. You are lost. But you have to control that your emotions and tell him and dictate to that emotions how you really want. You need to understand what is called the body language. In some part of the country, I think Japan or China, letter number 4 actually symbolize bad luck. Letter number 4 symbolizes bad luck. And here in Nigeria, when you say 4, we believe maybe you are going for second time. 2 plus 2 is equals to 4 here in Nigeria. So when we are talking about emotional intelligence, you need to understand and speak the language of whosoever you are communicating to. You don't need to be ambiguous. You don't need it. You don't need to show off. You don't need it. Because understanding who you are talking to really goes a long way. Really, really matters. Then lastly, you have to understand your value. How much are you, Mr. John? Mr. Ambassador Musa, how much are you? Kwa Benajalo, how much are you? Mahama, you need to tell me how much you have if I really want to purchase you. Oyeba Mere Monsurudo, how much are you? Benedicta, how much are you? Mr. Julius. So this thing, Mrs. Ikmat, this thing, Mirabel, you need to understand that you are priceless. No amount of money can actually purchase you because you know your worth and you know your value. A lot of people are lost their value because they refuse to learn who they are. So these are important values and principles that you do not want to compromise. If you know that it is important to you, it's a decision you have to make. Be accountable for your actions no matter what. As a good leader, no matter what, no matter the situation, remember you have a choice in everything you do. If you don't already take accountability of your actions and decisions, if you make a bad decisions, learn from it, but face the music and take responsibility for it as well. You get respect if you do and respect your fellow leaders on the group or probably in your organization place. You need to re-examine why you are a leader. What is that potential in you why people call you leader? We have the born leader, we have the made leader. Which of the leaders are you? Are you the made one or you are the born one? So you have to examine what you really love about your career. The skills you are learning, particularly, what do you love about it? That skills you have in you. What do you really love about it? Is it something you do out of passion, out of zeal, or is it something you are just doing because Mr. John, are you with me? Okay, my time, right?
Yes,
Okay, I'll take note of that. I'll take note of that, sir. I'll be
no,
rounding off.
it
So,
is actually over. So if you could use 30 seconds to just wrap it up.
All right, let me just round it. Let me just round off at that point. I'm very
Please,
sorry. I'm not
yes.
being time conscious enough. So
Yes.
when it comes to being, just to take it off, when we are talking about emotional intelligence as a youth, what is that particular thing you believe you are actually not working on particularly? You need to identify it. Having identified that such thing, how will you build on it? Building on your emotions really goes a long way in communicating to people around you. Building on your emotions really can scale through and makes you worthwhile globally. Talking about your emotions can actually make you whosoever you believe you really want to be, because communication skills really goes a long way in achieving a particular goal and objective in this life. Know your emotions and know how best you can actually deal with others. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Toyib, for that powerful I think this session really deserves a certification, because from Julius, who opened the floor, to Toyib, who has also given some high-powered emotional intelligence, said, I think I am willing to be your student. This is really impressive. There is a question
Never stop
from, there's
teaching.
a question
All
from
right, sir.
Victoria. She's saying that under 30 seconds, can you share more light on sympathy and empathy in 30 seconds?
Sorry, I'm not hearing that. Sorry.
Yes, this is from Victoria, a
Okay.
participant. In 30 seconds,
Okay.
can you share more light on sympathy and empathy?
All right. Thank you very much, Victoria. When we are talking about sympathy, I have a old age mother that is very old. She do complain she can't walk very well. I don't actually understand why she can't walk very well, because I believe she still have her 2 legs. When we are talking about empathy, you don't put yourself in that particular situation. You view yourself as an old person, like assuming you are old. How will you feel? Will your bones still be strong, just like the way you are young? Can you still do some certain things the way you can? You are putting your empathy into a picture of that particular person, which you are actually not. You are making a kind of a representation of what is actually not you. You really want to feel the way the person is actually feeling without being in that particular position. That is what we call empathy. You have empathy on a particular people because you really want to know how they are feeling. You really want to help them because you really want to suit into you cannot picture yourself to help someone else by just sympathizing with them. Sympathizing is just all about you are having this kind of care mind, like, sorry, Victoria, sorry, I understand how you felt. Sorry, I understand. Sorry, you can still make it, okay? Victoria, sorry. I understand I'm having 30 seconds here, but you know I'm still going to do whatever I have to do just to make this thing understandable enough for you to get. I'm giving sympathy on you, but I am not actually in your present situation of empathizing with that particular situation you have. Someone that is sick, let's take for instance a sickler. A sickler are those people that we always view like they can die anytime. That's the general perspective about them. Now let's look at it this way. Just imagine you are having a broken bottle where there are fire under that broken bottle and a lot of nails have been poured on it. They now ask you to work on that particular bottle and that nail. If you work on it, you know the pain you are going to infringe on yourself. Someone outside who is not actually working on that particular stone, the fire, that broken bottle, are just saying, sorry, Victoria, sorry, Mr. John, sorry. Mr. 30 seconds, I'll stop. Mr. John, sorry, I understand. They are saying sorry because they see you working on it. But the actual pain you are feeling will have to come with your empathy. You understand what I'm saying? So empathy is more inclined more than empathy, more than sympathy rather. So that's it.
Yeah, so on that score, but then is empathy deeper sense of sympathy? This is from Ikimat, who is asking, is empathy a deeper sense of sympathy?
Yes, yeah. When we are talking about empathy, empathy can be much more deeper than sympathy. How? Because when you make use of empathy and you are not making of sympathy, definitely you are going to fit in that particular thing, and you are going to make use of both your sympathy and empathy. But sympathy will be inbuilt inside the empathy you are actually passing to that particular person. So when you have empathy, you might actually have sympathy inside you, working as a supporting system for your empathy. So it's much more advisable for people to use more of their empathy than sympathy.
And on that score, I think I will use my empathy to end the session so that we can move to our next speaker. Also, Kayode said, I would also like to add that we should avoid using the word, I understand how you feel. We can't understand how people feel because we react to things differently. I think that is solid. But then, if let's come back to what Coyote said. But the question is, isn't it a way of empathizing by saying, I understand how you feel?
Can I pick it from there, sir?
In 15 seconds, if you don't mind.
All right. Just like what Coyote just said, there are some situations, or when you have a client, especially when it comes to mental health, or probably someone undergoing what you call severe depression, there are some certain words you make use of. It is very important. And part of those words are the positive affirmation words. Sorry, Mr. John, I understand you. Mr. Kelde, I really know how you felt. You can actually scale through this. Yes, you can actually scale through it. We can actually understand people, not by being inside them, but by actually having what you call a self-awareness about ourselves. When you don't know yourself, you can't know someone else. It's very difficult. I understand the point that you said you can't understand how other people feel. You can. You can actually understand how other people feel. You can. Especially if you have passed through it. There's something called post-traumatic stress disorder. It's called PTSD. Someone that has actually probably has actually encountered rape. We actually tell you more about what it means to be raped. We actually have a better story to tell rather than someone that is just talking on an holistic view like rape is just normal, they just do it. But when you're asking that kind of person that happened to be a victim but now a survivor to share his or her story, she will speak with empathy because she already knew what it takes to be raped.
And on that score, thank you so much. Thank you so much on that score. Thank you so much. So in summarizing what you have said, knowing what to do, how to do it, when to do, and where to do, this embodies everything you have said today. Thank you so much, Oluwa Nishola, for that powerful, mind-blowing. Definitely, emotional intelligence is all about the brain, the mind, how you feel. Thank you so much for this. On that score, we will usher in our next speaker, Madam Mahama, who will speak on customer relationship management. So you see how the whole session has gone. We've picked topics that covers the whole sector. We've done health, we've done management, we've done marketing. Now, here we are. So let's usher in Madam Mahama, who is the Estate and the Logistics Officer. Madam, you have the floor. Your audience awaits you. Thank you so much.
Hello?
Yes, you are loud and clear.
Okay. I was saying that I'm glad to be part of this session. So far, it's been an interesting session, and I'm really learning from my colleagues. Okay, so I'm taking customer relationship. With customer relationship, I think every business needs that for its survival. Once you have customers, you need to enhance your customer relationship to be able to survive in business. And to be able to achieve customer relationship, you need to do a study of your customers to know what your customer needs are, to be able to satisfy them. So to start with, in order to satisfy your customers, you have to find out about their purchasing habits, their opinions, their preference. Then you also profile your customers into individuals, groups, to be able to market to them effectively. And also, you need to know what is trending. Like for instance, in this era of COVID, you need to know which way is the best way to reach out to your customers. Would it be online? Would it be wise to operate an online store now? Or would it be wise to do an in-store thing? So when you find out what your customer needs are, you are able to satisfy them so well. And with customer relationship, all it needs is patience. Because sometimes there are times you have difficult customers that without patience, you end up ruining everything for yourself. For instance, where I work, I'm the estate and logistics officer, and my institution is both technical and non-technical department. So there are times the technical people feel that they are more important in the organization than the non-technical department. So when you're in the non-technical department, it needs a lot of patience to be able to deal with your customers. So in my organization, we are the people managing them. So my director always say that we need to satisfy our customers. You need to bend over to be able to satisfy your customers. You need to look at what your objective is. What do I want to achieve with this? I need to satisfy the customers. What are the customers' needs? You need to know what they need to be able to satisfy them. Hello?
Yes, you are loud and clear.
Okay. So with customer relationship, it's all about studying your customers, studying what is trending, studying their preference to be able to satisfy them. And in this era of COVID, to be able to stay relevant with your customers in this era of COVID, you need to apply technology. Just like we are doing now. I'm sure if this wasn't a COVID period, we would have been having this discussion in a room where we are able to see each other physically, and this discussion can using WhatsApp. You need to find out which age group of people are usually on WhatsApp to be able to advertise using WhatsApp. And if you are using Facebook, you need to know the age range of people that are usually on WhatsApp, on Facebook, sorry. If you are using Twitter, you need to know which brackets of people are on Twitter. And if you are using which other social media app, Instagram, you need to know the kind of people that you can advertise to on Instagram. Let's say if you are advertising when you look at Twitter, the age range for Twitter is mostly the youth. So if you are marketing something that is for the aged, Twitter will be the wrong place to have such advertisements. So you need to look at your customers. You need to do profiling of everyone to be able to satisfy them. And also, you need to identify your customers and how profitable they are to you. There are people in who are into production of goods and services. There are times maybe you ask somebody for a bag. The bag might be, let's say, $10. That same bag that your client is selling to you for $10, that same bag will be sold to a different person for $20 or $50, depending on your customer profiling. You understand? When you know your customers, you are able to satisfy them so well. And then also, what do you need to do to be able to implement customer relationship in your institution? First of all, you need to collect information. You need to do data collection of all your customers. Second, you need to sort. After you have stored the data, you now have to access the information you have gathered from the data that was collected. When you have done that, then you analyze the customer behavior of all the customer that you have collected data on. And then you now look at which marketing tools will be more effective for you. And then you come to your stage, which will be enhancing your customer experience. So with enhancing your customer experience, that one, you wouldn't even be the one to tell people that you wouldn't be the one to talk about your products. Your customers will be the ambassadors for you based on their experience with you. And when you get to such a stage, let's say if I'm marketing something to you, John, and I'm marketing to Musa too as well. I have sold to Musa before, so he knows my customer relationship. He knows how well he can relate with me. He has an experience with me. When Musa is telling you about his experience with me, you tend to believe him more than if I'm telling you, because I'm the sales point. But if it's coming from a customer, you tend to understand the person so well than me, the person telling you. So you need to develop your customer relationship to the extent that you now have customer experience relationship with people. They will be your ambassadors. You wouldn't have to be the one telling people about your own customer relationship. And with customer relationship, so far, what I have identified with customer relationship, what are the potential things that can draw you back in terms of customer relationship? Lack of commitment. You need to be committed to your goal to be able to satisfy your customers. If you're not committed to it, there's no way. Without commitment, nothing is possible. So you have to have a sense of commitment to be able to satisfy your customers. And also you need to have good communication skills to be able to satisfy people, to be able to satisfy your customers. Poor communication will ruin everything in customer relationship, because it's all about how well you communicate with people. There are times you greet a customer and the customer might tell me to be rude just because maybe you didn't say good morning, you just said good morning. But to you haven't done anything. So you need to work on your communication skills to be able to satisfy your customers. And you also need to have strong leadership. You need to have strong leadership when it comes to customer relationship, because there are times you go to an organization and you are speaking to, let's say, the receptionist, and you feel the receptionist is being rude. So you tend to go like, can I speak with the manager? So even if you are not the main contact with the outside customers, the managers need to have a strong leadership. They need to make people understand that. This is how it's done, and this is how best you can work around it. And with customer relationship, it's always good to avoid setting strict rules, because each customer and what works best for him. So if you have a straight jacket rule for everyone, you have problems with your customers. At every point in time, each customer needs change. So there's no point having a straight jacket rule for all customers. You need to know what works best for each customer to be able to satisfy every customer. So all I can say about customer relationship is that with customer relationship, you always have to bend over to be able to satisfy your customers. It's all about patience. With customer relationship, you can be very right, yet your clients thinks otherwise as well. So in all things, like the saying goes, the customer is always right. So you always have to ensure that you have the needed patience and you are able to always bend over to be able to satisfy your customers. Thank you. At this point, I'm ready for questions from participants. If there's anything you need clarity on, I'm here to answer all your questions. Thank you, John.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that insightful talk on customer relationship. And I think your topic, a lot of questions have come in. And the first one is, it says, how do you deal with a rude and aggressive customer? How do you deal with a rude and aggressive customer? In 30 seconds, how do you deal? Please unmute. Yes.
Okay. All right. So how do you deal with an aggressive or rude customer? Let me use myself as an example. Like I said earlier on, I'm with the estate and logistics unit. So and we handle meetings and other things in the office. There are times someone will come to me. I'm supposed to have a meeting at 9 a.m. and the general staff haven't set up. I'm like, okay, can I check to see when you brought in your meeting request? And you're supposed to bring your meeting request like 24 hours at least before time. So when you have a rude or aggressive customer, first of all, you need to listen to them. When your customer is rude and aggressive, just black out and just listen to whatever the person is saying. Once you listen to, in that aggression, you find out what the issue is. So you have to have the patience to listen to the customer. Once you have listened to the customer, even in the aggressive state, you'll be able to understand what the problem is and you'll be able to solve it perfectly.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. Let's see if we have questions as well for you. Okay. Says, at what point should you draw the curtain in customer satisfaction? At what point should you draw the curtain in customer satisfaction? As in, at what point are you, enough is enough, as we will say?
I've satisfied this customer. Okay, so for me, I think the point you draw the curtain on customer satisfaction will be the point at which you now have customer experience with other people. When you have other people, other customers that can vouch for you, then that's the point you draw you draw the curtains. So at that point, you wouldn't be the one selling yourself. It's your own customers that are serving as ambassadors. They are testimonies for your customer satisfaction. Have I answered your question?
All right, thank you for that score. There is one here. It says, one of the challenge or complaints of customers that is online marketing is the cost of waybill. What's your suggestion on managing that challenge?
Hello?
Yes.
Please, can you repeat the question?
This question, it says, I appreciate the aspect of good customer relationship. One of the challenge or complaints of customers that is online marketing is the cost of waybill. What's your suggestion on managing that challenge? But if I may ask, do we have waybill for online?
I think probably he's referring to overseas, where you have to ship it to a different country. I don't know if that's what he meant.
All right. So
so if he's talking about in terms of shipping to a different country or different location, then what I'll suggest is that when you have people ordering stuff from you, what you have to do is that you need to group them. You need to group your deliveries. So let's say if 3 people are ordering from Ghana, let's say someone is ordering today, the person has ordered 1 item. In 2 days' time, another person is ordering. If you're going to be doing instant deliveries every day, the charges on the way bill will be more. But if you can have a time frame for your deliveries, let's say it will be delivered within 2 weeks. So within 2 weeks, you group all the deliveries that are going to one location and you dispatch them, and group all the other things that are going to another location and dispatch them. I think that will be of help.
thank you very much, Madam Mahama, for that. To wrap it up for you, you are saying we should enhance customer relations by staying successful to retaining business. And also, we need to what? We need to embrace technology as a key component of business. And also, we need to know current trends because this advises us on what is happening and how to reposition ourselves to also satisfy our customers. On that score, I want to thank you so much for the session. It has been a privilege and an honor to hear from your words of wisdom and knowledge and practical experience. Thank you so much, Mrs. Shani Mahama. God bless you for today. Underscore participants.
Thanks very much, John.
Thank you very much.
You've been a good moderator.
Oh, God bless you.
I love the summary. I couldn't have summarized my own session that well.
Oh, then you that is in order. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You've been very insightful. Underscore people, participants are also not left behind. We're also privileged to have in our midst the continental president of Great Minds Empire, Tamam Mande Yari, who is here with us, and our very own also, Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, Alendu Graham, who is also a member of GSFEN. So today we are really ably represented across all. We even have our very own Benedicta Yosen. She has been with us from what? Exactly 2 o'clock to now. Wow, we are very impressed. Ikimat Yusuf, she's been nailing all the questions. I think she's our class prefect for today. We are happy to have you here. I'm so happy to have everyone here, especially your data, your time. God bless you all. Let's do this. God bless you. So on that score, let's move on to our next speaker. Our next speaker for today, he is in the person of Lamin Jassy. He is speaking on finance management and leadership. He is speaking on finance management and leadership. So if he's here, please, you have the floor. Take it. Thank you. It seems, where is he? Okay. Okay, please check your system again.
Okay.
Yes, great.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, my apology. I thought you were already.
It's okay, it's okay, it's okay.
Forgive me. Thank you.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lamin Jassy. Yeah, hope you all hearing me. Yeah, my name is Lamin Jassy. I'll be speaking on the topic of financial management and leadership. And then, anyway, let me start by congratulating each and every one of you for making it on time. And John, Musa, you guys have been so great today in moderating this forum. Yeah, anyway, today my topic will be on financial leadership and management. And I will start by defining what is leadership first before going further to what is finance and other stuff. Yeah, leadership. Leadership is a common goal, but there's no permanent definition for leadership and nations about leadership. Yeah, but the next topic will be how to call it. Our next topic will be like the qualities that a financial leader should have. If you want to be a financial leader, what are some of the qualities you need to possess? There was a survey which is conducted at Oxford and which is conducted by Oxford and Socio-Economics. Yeah, looks at the six practices that boost the business performance and efficiency, as well as governance, risk, and compliance in the organization or in any firm. The study was said to ask over 1,500 executives, in which 12 out of 11.5% of them are already financial leaders across the globe in different countries and in different form of businesses that they are doing. So some of those 6 qualities that we are coming to discuss today will be a financial leader should have a strong influence beyond its financial functions. That is one. And then the second one will be driving growth strategy in an organization. A financial leader should also capable of doing all that. The third one is improving efficiency with automation. And then the fourth one will be being very effective at core financial processes. The fifth one is collaborating regularly with business units across the firm. And the sixth one will be working closely with the GRC, that is governance, risk, and compliance team within the organization. Okay, now let me put more emphasis on the first one. Having a strong influence beyond the organizational finance functions. That is the relationship between the finance manager or the financial leader and its staffs. Your staff should be able to tell that whether the company is actually into them or they are into their own interests. If the speakers, hello, John.
Yes, you are loud and clear. We can hear you, but okay. you're facing a bit of technical challenges with your
Sure. Hello.
I can hear you clearly. Can you hear me?
You can hear me clearly. Yeah, I'm hearing you. Sure.
We are facing a little breaking in your delivery.
Network.
Yes.
Yeah, it's cloudy outside. Yeah, I think it's about to rain. That's why it happens sometimes. Are you hearing me now?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. And then like the 6 of those qualities, I'm coming to elaborate on number the quality one, which is having strong influence beyond the finance functions of the organization. In an organization, as the financial leader, your support staff or the people you are working with, your how to call it.
Hello. I think your network is so I don't know.
More than the job, so that they can also. Hello.
Yes. So I think let's do away with the video for now, and let's switch to audio to see if we can get a very clear audio from you, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say here is that I'm coming to elaborate on the 6 qualities of a financial leader. That is having strong influence beyond the finance functions of the organization. That is one. And this quality number 2 is driving growth in the organization. Quality number improving efficiency with automation at the core finance process. Quality number 5 is collaborating regularly with business units across the firm or the company. And then quality number 6 is working closely with the governance, risk, and compliance team in order to excel in handling regulatory changes in an organization. So I'm trying to put a little emphasis on the following. That is like having a strong influence beyond the finance functions in the organization. A finance manager or a finance leader should be able to have influence upon its staffs in order for them to maximize their efficiency in order to boost the shareholders' value in the organization. And then the second one too is like driving strategic growth initiative in an organization. That is like you should be able to introduce strategic growth, how to call it? You should be able to introduce and implement strategic initiatives that are going to help the organization to grow. in bigger or in the, a success, a bigger success, in fact. And then the third one is improving efficiency in automation. As we all know, the world is a global village now. Everything is been moving to digital. So as a financial leader, you should be able to foresee all those digital implications in the organization in order to be at par with the competitors. The quality number four, very effective at the core processes, be very effective at the core finance processes in the organization. You shouldn't be there and say, oh, for me, I don't actually know what is going on in the organization. As a financial leader, you should be at the top of every financial dealings that your institution is going through or being facing. And then like quality number five, that is collaborating with every business unit across the firm, which is one of the most important thing, and like is the cause of a lot of failures in the financial dealings of many organizations in this part of the world, like Africa. Yeah, because most financial leaders or financial managers think that, oh, I'm not HR, so I have nothing to do with the HR department, blah, 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 which is very wrong. As the business world is moving now, every business is interrelated. Every department or organization within every department or unit within an organization are all related. A financial leader needs information from all those units in order to make accurate financial decisions for the progress of the firm in order to increase the shareholders' value. Yeah, and then like the sixth one is working closely with the governance, risk and compliance committee or team in order to handle regulatory changes. As we all know, we are all being governed by rules and regulations within our organization, societies, environment, or even country. So as a finance leader, you should be at par with all these units within an organization in order to know your dealings, whether they are legal or illegal, and know how to work with your staffs accordingly without being ethically violating their rights. And then like due to time factor, I would like to stop here. But let me give you some few tips about like skills which are very, very necessary for a financial leader. Like skills that you need to have. Skill number one, you should be technologically aptitude. You should be very, very conversant with technology changes and then like new inventions. You should be very flexible in change management. You should be a very good change manager. And then you should be always ready. You should be always open for collaborations and new ideas. That's the third one. And then like there should be a clear chain of communication between you and your subordinates. That's the fourth one. That's the fourth skill. And then like the fifth skill is leadership itself. You should be able to influence your staff in order to achieve your organizational goals or targets. I think I'll stop here for now. And if there is any other question or answer, any other question, you can please ask. John?
Thank you.
Hello, John.
Yes, let me thank you very much.
Am I clear now?
Very much for, it is just, how do I say, a little bit unfortunate that most of the medications you are giving us, we were not able to fully receive all the medication. But notwithstanding, we are still fit for you. So I think I was able to grasp some few things you said. That that means what you said. You know, speaking of finance, management, and leadership, we need to work closely with all sectors. We also need to maximize efficiency. We need to maximize efficiency. We need to strategize growth to have a higher productivity. And also, you said we need to collaborate on governance and all key sectors. And as you are wrapping up, you made mention that there are some key things you need to know to become a financial leader, which is what? Technology, You need to be digitally inclined. That is, you also need to be flexible. And at all times, you should be prepared to face every goal and every mission set before you. And between you and your subordinates, or let me just say team members, you need to set a clear agenda in achieving target. That is using the SMART approach, SMART approach. Yes. So yes, I think our class prefect has beautifully put all those things also here for us. You need to have a good chain of communication. Yes, open to collaboration. These are things that a good financial manager must have. Thank you so much, my brother. But then we must say that technology will not separate us today, because today on World Youth Skills Day, we are here to gain knowledge irrespective, and we are going against all the odds and beating the challenges in terms of internet delivery in Africa. So thank you so much that all through it all, even with a network bandwidth, which is very low, you still were able to deliver to us. And thank you, our participants, who were also attentive, even through the technical glitches. God bless you for your time, Lamin.
Thank you, John. Thank you, John. On each and every one of you.
All right, people. It seems we are really far and into time. So let's move straight to our next speaker, so that today we will all go home in peace and not tired. I will introduce our next speaker, who is going to speak on remote activism. She is the founder and executive director for her initiative, Madam Elizabeth Agatha Musa Conte. Please, Madam, if you are here, avail yourself to your audience. Thank you very much. All right, I have muted you, please. Please unmute yourself.
Okay.
Great.
All right, thank you, John, and the entire team for this great opportunity. I say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone across the world, wherever you might find yourself. I bring you warm greetings from Sierra Leone. As you say, I'm Elizabeth, and a gender and feminist. I believe in women and girls' empowerment for a revolutionary transformation of our society. And today I'll be talking on remote activism. In a time like this, when we observe social distancing, quarantine, and self-isolation is key in the fight against COVID-19. As young people, I think what is of utmost priority is innovation, and also we embrace technology and remote activism. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen watching me today live, I want to use this opportunity to congratulate and also applaud every young person that had been resilient and also proactive in impacting lives during this COVID pandemic. I want to say thank you for your effort, thank you for your commitment, and thank you for the life that you've been transforming. The world is watching you and you are making so much impact. So I come to my topic, remote activism. Basically, when we talk about remote activism, we are talking about like virtual ways of transforming or effecting social change. It could be social, it could be economical, it could be political, it could be environmental change. When we talk in my own context now, you talk about remote activism during COVID pandemic. This is like seeking young people to remain active and civically engaged in their time of isolation, in their time of self-quarantine, in their time of social distancing. Nothing should limit you as a young person. COVID has taught us a lot of lessons. We should not only practice this now that COVID is still in existence, we should also prepare for the post-COVID era, because a lot of people have started enjoying this kind of platform that COVID has brought onto us. Before the outbreak of COVID, we used to do our activism, we used to do our implementation in diverse ways. But when this COVID outbreak came, there has been it has like constituted a lot of reconfiguration in our operations, in our implementation, and also in our activism. And for me personally, I've been enjoying it, and a lot of people have been enjoying this kind of platform. Today, if we are all gathered here in this platform, is as a result of remote activism. It's bringing all of us together, and nothing is limiting us to express our issues. Nothing is limiting us, obviously, to challenge the issues that should transform our lives, our society, and also the nation and the continent we are fighting for. So today, I want to congratulate every young person, and I want to say, let's keep the fire burning. We need a platform, and now the platform is created because you are not only holding that phone just to make call or to be on WhatsApp doing nothing that is impactful. You are holding the phone so you can use it to communicate your issues. You can use it to fight for the cause that you want to fight, to bring transformation in the lives of others. It's not only about ourselves. It's about we transforming humanity. It's about we transforming our continent. So I'm so happy that all of us are gathered here today from different countries. And I'm happy that my West African people are here. So it's a good platform that we should maintain or even take it beyond this level. So we need our social platform to operate as young people, as activists, in order to remain resilient, in order to remain proactive. We need Twitter, we need Instagram, we need Facebook, we need WhatsApp to communicate our issues. Nothing should limit us. Over for the past 6 months, I can say, just after Musa got back to me with the topic, I've been interviewing like a lot of people and asking for their consent as to what have been the benefits working at home or using the internet to do things. It has been amazing to have a lot of feedback, and I will share just a few of those feedback with you. One of it is improved inclusivity, and that is what we are enjoying now, because it has given us, or it has made us embrace diversity and inclusion, that nothing obviously is limiting us now. Sorry, please. So like nothing actually is limiting us. We go beyond ethnicity, we go beyond culture, we go beyond geographical background, we go beyond socio-economic background. So this is the benefit that remote activism has brought to our doorstep. The other one also is increased productivity. For me personally, I think I've started growing faster because if I have this kind of platform connecting with everybody around the world that I don't even know, it's as a result of this. So we're moving away from the traditional way of doing things in the offices. It's we being proactive, because for the day when I wake up and I know I have something to share on my social media handles, I definitely have to prioritize my time and also what I do so that I'm able to achieve that kind of objective. So that's the way that's how I've been proactive and also efficient enough to communicate my issues, to communicate to the world about the issues, especially like for me now, my issues I've been communicating is the issue of rape, the issue of women empowerment, and social issues affecting our women and our girls. I know Nigeria's and Ghana, we are none of exception to this. So we have been communicating these issues. You can use a different platform and a different way of doing it. I basically do it hashtag. Hashtag is about my issues I share with everybody using my social media handles. And also there's now this thing they call this like TikTok, which is like, it has increased over the shortest period of time, because it's actually raising social issues, awareness around social issues to creative means like of doing a short video. And as I said, it's awesome. The other thing also, I think there has been impact on sustainability, because we found out that remote activism has supported a variety of sustainable initiatives ranging from economic growth, gender inequality, and climate change, and also like responsible consumption. So I think this is sustainable, and this is something we need to trade on continuously. So Today, I'm giving this opportunity. I think it's not only for me, but for those watching me, those like listening to us now, we're sharing our experiences live. We've learned a lot. So it takes a lot of things to get there. And what does it take, especially for us as young people to get there? It takes commitment, it takes sacrifice, it takes passion. Because for you to wake up in the morning and you realize that you're not going nowhere, you are doing your work at home, except you have the passion, otherwise you get a lot of distraction. So it boils down to passion, commitment, sacrifice, and also we need enhanced, you need to enhance yourself with the right communication skills in order for you to communicate to your audience. You need to know your audience and how you should attack and target them. And that's how you get around people and people actually buy into you and you become interested in them. Most of the things we do sometimes, we forget that the world is watching us until we miss out on a particular thing. That's where people come back to us and say, you've missed out on this, or this is what you have done that is not right. So then you realize that indeed the world is watching you. You are not only doing your activism, you are not only doing your work because of yourself or because of like your limited environment, but the scope is large, it's at a global. Remote activism is at a global scale. That's how we are impacting the lives of a lot of people. So as I go without wasting much time, as I'm ready to go now, I'll conclude by saying, young people, we need to wake up. We need to wake up. We need to take the challenge in our own hands. We don't have to wait until we are being told what to do. The era has changed. The world is evolving every day. So we need to wake up from our slumber. We need to take our own challenge for ourselves. We need to be endowed with the right technological skills in order to move on with the current trend. So as I go, I want to use this opportunity to congratulate every young person as we celebrate this day. I want to say Happy World Youth Skill Day. Thank you. Thank you, John. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Madam, for that free speech. In fact, you have actually spoken as a volunteer because this is how we volunteers, we speak. We speak from the heart, from the mind. We don't speak from books because we need to be with the people. So we really appreciate what you have said, saying that we need to wake up, as you have rightly said. We need to wake up from our slumber. And slumber here means we need to wake up the spirit of humanitarianism, the spirit of volunteerism, the spirit to have a cause, an objective, a goal to serve humanity. It is not just about how much are you going to pay me? It is not about, I have the skill in this. If they are not willing to pay, I'm not going to do. No. So we need to move away from the traditional, as you have rightly said, to prioritize our time, maximize our space for efficiency. I like that part. You also said that we need to know our audience. That was very brilliant of you, as the world is watching. So we need to stay relevant. I mean, you have given us key, specific keywords that is very pertaining to volunteers. And I believe each one and every one of us on this platform, in one way or the other, have been a volunteer before or are even still in volunteering. So it is very, very important for us to take what Madam Elizabeth has put to us today, that we need skills as well as a course. So please, it is a great speech. We thank you. And our class prefect is also saying that young people should wake up, take up the challenges and responsibilities. The world is evolving, and endow yourself with the right technology and skills. That is paraphrasing all that you have given us. Thank you so much, Madam Elizabeth, for that insightful, and we look forward to engaging with you on other platforms as well. Thank you so much. Well, people, I think today we've really had a swell of a time. It's been how many hours? 5 hours? No, let me check. I think we spent half a day. That's about 12 hours on this platform. That is impressive. So on that score, Musa, are you there? Please unmute yourself. Are you there? It's World Youth Skills Day. So today we are going to spare formalities because we are the youth. So we need to be ourselves. Okay? So Musa, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
All right. Are all the speakers done?
Yes.
All right. On that score, I think we'll need to play our prof, our special guest speaker, his speech. We need to play his speech for everyone to also hear from prof what he has for us. So please bear with me as I get the video up and running. Let me see. Okay. Yes. Please alert me if I am doing the right thing. Please, can we see the video?
Yeah, but I think you've not started playing. Yes, I can see it.
Hi, my name is Professor Blessing Mawa, founder of GSFEN worldwide. I want to welcome you to this World Youth Skill Day. I want to appreciate my Vice President of Africa Continent, Ambassador Musa Latuji, and Ambassador John Agre, the co-organizer of this program, who is also the founder of Aya Consult Ghana. Both of you have been very wonderful, very cooperative, and you have been doing very nicely globally. And your associates, the co-planners, the committee that work with you in coming up with this awesome program. I want to say a very big thank you to all of you because you have done beyond my imaginations. I say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Equally, I want to welcome and appreciate all the speakers of today's program. I know that you have come up with nice notes, and I believe that at the end of delivery today, youths of Nigeria and Africa and the world as a whole will be impacted better and will become better than they were before. Because this is the era that we need youth in the world. Youths are the future of today. Youths are the future of tomorrow. Youths are needed in every facet of life. And without youth, there cannot be growth, there cannot be development, there cannot be any reasonable upward movement in the world. So when we are talking about World Youth Skill Day, we need youths that are skillful, that want to add value to the global economy, global peace, and global humanitarian services. And there is nothing that anybody can do without skills. We have learned lessons from Mark Zuckerberg, from Bill Gates, from Job Steve, extra. They have all impacted the world. They have all added value to global economy by way of technological skills. In this generation, the most useful skills that you can possess is technological skills. I was impressed when Julius Ilori came out with an online educational forum for youth by way of technology. That is innovation. That is skills. That is what can move the world in a progressive manner. Let me tell you that today we have educational platforms that are outstanding, such as Coursera, such as EDS, Udemy, and density, etc., etc. Now, let me just take Coursera as an example. Coursera was invented by two Stanford students, graduates or lecturers, two of them. They put their heads together and they came up with Coursera, an online educational platform that is blessing millions of people today. Therefore, I want you to cheer up. I want you to wake up as youths. Think of what you can do, to think of applications that you can innovate that will be generating money and will be adding value to global economy. There is nothing one can do against technological advancements in this age. G5 is already in action. Even G6 is already in progress. Therefore, key yourself into necessary skills at your disposal, financial skills, educational skills, technological skills that can be adding value to the global economy. You must be an additional value creator to the global economy. You must not be idle. You must not be useless. You must be very productive, very proactive, very assertive, and dogged in all your undertaking. So I want to believe that my speakers have better things to tell you today. And I wish all of you a very good success, a very good day, a very good week. And I am hopeful that from now on, the world will start having success. Hi, my name is Professor Blessing Lawa, founder of GSFEN worldwide.
So that is our prof, the global president and founder of GSFN. I am happy I have received fully all the yes, yes, yes. We want to thank you, Prof, that even though you are not with us, you have been able to still send us your message of solidarity in commemorating today's special day of World Youth Skills Day. God bless you so much and give you traveling mercies. We look forward to seeing you again where we can all embrace each other and give glory to God. On that score, I want to thank everyone who's made it possible here. It is a privilege and honor to have you here. Yes, we've spent over 2 hours, or close to 3 hours. We are tired. So I will humbly hand over to our host, Ambassador Musa Olatunji, the Vice President of GSFN Africa, and then he will do us the closing remarks and a brief of what, who, which, where, what is GSFN, how you can be a member, and then thank everyone. So over to you, my brother. My work is done here. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you, John. I really appreciate you've done well. A special thanks to everyone who have been able to stay from when we started till this moment. You guys have been wonderful. I might be the host, but actually in return, we are all the hosts because today we are talking about World Youth Day. So, and it concerns every one of us. So I really appreciate from the participants to the speakers, to everyone who contributed, who shared their experience, their thoughts. I believe this is an avenue where we've all learned and we've all taken note of so many things that we need to go and start working on to make ourselves productive, proactive in our respective community. So without taking much of our time, I would like to talk a brief about GSFEN. GSFEN is a global body of humanitarian ambassadors in over 88 countries, and we have over 400 ambassadors. What we specifically do is humanitarian activities. We promote humanitarian activities, and we engage in the SDGs. We align with the SDGs, most especially peace, education, poverty, health. So if whenever you are interested to join us, we are all welcome. You are all welcome. You can reach any of us. You're all welcome on board. We would like to welcome you to join the family. We believe together with youth, we can do this. We can change the narrative. We can we definitely can change the narrative. I'm a man of a small world that just loves to take action. So please, special guests who joined us at the ambassadors from different countries, time will not permit me to keep mentioning names. But most especially, special thanks to the speakers whom we reach out to within a short while, and they were able to avail themselves to share their knowledge. They are not just knowledge from the book, they are practical knowledge, experience gained from the field. So I believe every one of us here should take notes and should always go and work on it to make ourselves better. So thank you once again. I really appreciate it, and do have a blessed day. So on this note, if we can.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. But please, Musa, try and get the PowerPoints, the material, so that every participant will be able to have access to it. Okay. God bless us all. Bye-bye.
Okay. On that, I think each participant can reach me. Let me quickly drop